Anansusonso.
Swara.
Anansusonso.
Swara.
You all eat this and call it bayere. Yet, you don't know why it got the name bayere. Allow me to teach you as you grab a cup of water.
Yes, Nana.
Ajay, Mississippi.
Nana.
If you buy a handsome watch home coin, the people of Uno lived at their Mobi caves under the reign of Nana Samai. During that period, our dear Odumankume Nami decided to give my ancestors a feel of the Tetrecom by denying them rain. This led to a great famine.
Oh.
Hey! Shady Ampong. Nananum, near Bosma Bono for Besomo. Now Bono for Bebe by Didini. Onam Sempen for a baba kobebu baby say. Anuman tua, Obia Danting. Nana Samai sent a delegation to go far and near in search of food. After a very long travel, they returned with as many tubers of yam as they could carry from the north. Surprisingly, when they returned, Nana Samia Mabandia Duanio, Emum, he made them cut, replant, and harvest for more for 3 whole years.
Hey, Nana.
Ew, if you mean, sir, a banana samai. Ade, when himself come frefre any brana. Yenting be far be watching. One day, they all marched angrily and hungrily to the palace of Nana Samai to question him on why he was starving them. When they got there, the leader asked, Nana Samai, aduane abede bayen, so maye ndidia, enye abede bayire. Bayire, which translates as what did they bring them for, became the most popular word on that day. And therefore, the tubers of yam were named Bayere. When Nana saw the anger, fire, and agitation in the eyes of his subjects, he hurriedly asked that the Bayere be eaten on a weekly succession according to individual families. Today, Bayere is corrupted and pronounced as Bayere.
Yo.
My young ones, I entreat you all to never let anything, I mean anything, stand in your way when you want to ask a question, because your question may lead to something very great. Honana, Mrs. Yomi ya, inti meko makwatenase na china numre. I will tell you about the Meko Bono Festival. Meda hunina ase.
Mama, come story. Today, call me a weluku. Na majijo mokosho. A weluku mokosho. Inde when na womba tanta mo kondo. Na mo for one travel call back centuries. Back in the days, our ancestors from Techiman were led by a woman called Eweluku. Messi, no what should baby I settle into what search the man who could do baby called a sipum, where they cultivated pepper and others engaged in animal hunting. Now, Sassano Supa. No more queen would you, Modia on dear, near then. For that reason, they move all the way to Anafo. Now the state palace in Sekendi into Obedu Mokona for no watching. One fateful morning, they wake up and realize Mokona Suabe yo, Mokona Suabe. Hey, no, you need just the pepper plants exploded with flavor. The people from Manhattan people came and patronized Ezekumi. Do you know Ezekumi? When you want to one bad in a church show and one ballop. In a Hunter language, Eka Eza means pepper. Kumi means hot. Eka ni na bomoya beze hot pepper. Mommy, I sure that the mean will quake me over the year. Kivo hot pepper.
But
But that's what. But you know how Hunter people they love pepper. No, so when you want him okay, no what they tell can na wo leader. No, she won any day. In says no ezekumi secunde and the ezekumi. Beye secunde. From nowhere, our colonial simple. From nowhere, our colonial masters arrived. Now you put into mambo ezekumi. Sekendi sekunda. And also wakakaya wase sekendi. Sekendi. It's in there. Sekendia. We are known as the most welcoming people, and for our vibrant market, see from ezekumi all the way to Sekunde, and then the Sekendi, I guess Sekendi.
Woso ni ebedi akwa siesie wo ho na se to ne to na sa akwa abo anjia ye di yenti beto ho kotoko jenjem bi na ne yen. Today I'm going to tell us a short story about how my people, the gallant Ashanti warriors, got the name Kotoko. Kotoko, the porcupine, is a fierce animal with a strong defensive mechanism, and no matter the heavy attack that comes on it, the porcupine defends itself with its sharp quills. Intina nananom say Kotoko didn't mete and a bonny hubai. When the porcupine shoots off a quail from its body, immediately another quail goes. That was the good war strategy adapted by the Ashanti people. On the battlefield, they arrange themselves in the formation that each flank has an immediate replacement. That is why we got the appellation Wukma Pima Pimbeba. Kill 1,000 of us, and 1,000 more shall surface to fight. This gallant, fierce attitude and energy of our warriors made the then time king Asante Hine Otumfo Opokuwari Katechie our Dikan to give us the name Krobia Sante Kotoko. Krobia meaning we went to places to fight, conquer, and extend our territories. Eyam pastor Okun we anana ne yen Asante Kotoko no no almost yepentokwa wobua obo me na mesumi bo ni bi tintin na ebu aka ne sim obi pa won so piao.
Thank you. May have seen the Torah dance, but do you know the secrets behind it?
No.
Then let me tell you. Selma Yazor Kazara. Long ago in the land of Dagon, lived a brave king called Nyenzo, who lived happily with his wives and concubines. Nyenzo had his best friend called Nazo Jankuno. Jankuno in my language means cat. Hey, history has said that it was only sleep that separated these two friends. Nazo Jankuno knew everything that happened in the palace and even invaded the privacy of the wives and concubines of the king, which got them very angry that they connived to get rid of Nazo Jankuno. So they agreed that anytime any of them got pregnant, they'll frame it on Nazo Jankuno. Hey. Yes, I am not saying it is good to lie or frame anyone. If this is an offense, we should not be condoned. But you know what? Nazo Jankuno had crossed the line because he took the attention of the king and even invaded the privacy of these women. How dare he? The audacity. Ha! But you know what? One of them got pregnant and they went to tell the king, your best friend got me pregnant. Hey! You can imagine the shock on his face. But that did not stop them from achieving their goal. It happened over and over and over. So the king felt very sad and betrayed, and he called for the execution of his best friend. As usual, Bosu was on his way to the palace when he heard the news that the king and his elders were planning for his execution. He quickly jumped over the wall and fled, and that was the end of Nazo Jankuno. My people, men they will, but women they too. The women wanted to celebrate, but who celebrates when the king and his elders are not in a good mood? So before the Torah dance is being performed, the leader had to kneel down, pleading and singing appellations to the king and his elders, but most especially the drummers, to play soothing sounds for them to dance their hearts out. Mbalunga, Chade Johnny. Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Number no warba. Sabana ile be number no warba. Dana ile kudanshi e yuli e bangobia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
story shows that in unity lies our strength, and together we can achieve everything. Thank you.
I saw this huge mountain in my region, and when I asked, my elders told me, "Do you want to hear the story?"
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And Selembe,
Kalambe.
in the outskirts of the small village of Ombo lay a dam. This is where the people would go to swim, fetch water, and wash their clothes. But one day, the atmosphere would change. As these activities were ongoing, the clouds above the dam grew thicker, darker, and was descending. Upon fear and panic, the people ran to the village to break the news of the mysterious cloud. But upon their return, they came with a large crowd. But they were surprised to see that the once familiar dam was no more. And rather unfortunately, those who couldn't make it out of the dam in time were swallowed by the thick cloud, which had metamorphosed into a gigantic mountain. All of a sudden, a giant man with grey beard appeared from the side of the rocks. My friends, if I were there, it's not small for the vanish, you know. But with a deep voice, he called out to those who were gathered, "Do not tremble in fear, but rejoice, because I have come to watch over you and provide for you. I am the Wura, the protector and the provider." He urged them not to cry, because their relations who couldn't make it out of the dam in time were still alive and living well with him. Ever since that encounter, the Wura has become a part of the people. When there's drought, the people will sing in procession. Omba wuraye, tikono kuringe, nambenka sawa. Omba wuraye, tikono kuringe, nambenka sawa. And then the Wura will provide them with rain and a bumper harvest. Do you know that the mountain taboos blood?
No.
Yes, if you get a cut whilst on top of the mountain, your blood immediately ceases and will not drop until you descend from the mountain. This shows how powerful the Ombora mountain is. Till date, it still stands strong. Receiving both local and international tours. It has become a spiritual site where pilgrims visit for answered prayers. Visit the Ombora mountain today. Relay your heart desires and be sure of a positive response. Thank you. Ya baraka ma anjuaso.
Echafule bibata. Anyagba koto. Pa.
Nana Biba, voice of the ancestors, we cherish you. Today I shall re-echo your story. Makasarakpande
Kalamba.
Around the 18th century, Salga, a bustling West African trade center in the Gonjaland, experienced severe drought, causing widespread suffering amongst free people and slaves. No masters, no slaves, so in fact, it reached everybody.
Hey!
In these desperate times, how can we forget our revered elder, Nana Biba, a wise elder with strong spiritual connection? After several days of meditation, she had a vision. We must seek the hidden worlds beneath our feet, but this can only be done through unity and the willingness to work together. We shall follow the guidance of the stars and dig where the stars shone bright. The people of Salga obeyed, and soon, to their amazement, they uncovered a well. Mungo de Allah, Aboresanye Kosuna Besha. Mungo de Allah, Antrabore. Encouraged by this success, the people dug and uncovered a total of 100 wells.
100 wells?
Yes, 100 wells. And that was the turning point for Salga, averting the drought. Today, these wells remain a heritage site, and they still flow, symbolizing hope, resilience, and the bond between the people and their land. Just like Nana Biba, every woman can lead and inspire change. Asam Kushum, thank you.
Wayaye, yenim ko, yenim janyo, aye.
hini na na sumdwe. Ene, midimu komechi. 400 years ago in the 17th century, the people of Nanumba were the only people living in some part of the current Oti region, led by Najara Kruger. During that same period, the people of Krachi, also led by Krachi Wura Nana Adom Kwafu, were at Kitakpandida, which was their original settlement. These two chiefs became good friends. One day, Najara Kruger sensed invaders, so he decided to fight them. But he didn't have enough warriors. He then reached out to his friend, Nana Adom Kwafu, who didn't hesitate to help him. Chawai!
Yay!
Chawai!
Yay!
Alleged Kibeng! Yedinkunim. On the warriors' return journey, the same stream they crossed became flooded due to a heavy rain. They tiredly said, Obuke, Oti, Okpao. The river that has blocked our path. So this same stream we crossed has now become flooded. But even in difficult times, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. In Tuwoko Otimaimwe now, we have over 100 towns and villages along the banks of the river. And that same river serves as drinking water, fishing, and other economic support. It's in Ebraso say, His Excellency the President Betumi Mantem Dinu. He named it in honor of the history of the Oti River. Oti means blockage. Now, so say, your friend Oti region. Aye. Hey, lest I forget. After the warriors waited for a couple of days for the flooded stream to recede, they eventually crossed and got home victorious. Otie!
Yay!
Otie!
Yay!
Me damasi, manuesi.
And then you bring friend me Ediana, na meji say ya brade.
Ediana!
Ya brade, o just bane me ampa. Odumankuma bodin fitiasiano. There was a man, a hunter, who always went hunting with his atria. His name was Obomofukofi. But guess what? His only companion through this thick and dark forest went missing. Yes, that wasn't your usual hide and seek game, so now Chiano Uriah for 2 days. So he decided to return without his dog. Suddenly, he saw an inferno, Ojakesibio. Drowned in fear and coupled with curiosity, Obomofu Kofi Babone hid behind a tree. There, he saw his missing dog trotting towards him with fire in its mouth.
Hey.
Yes, that was the first time mankind had discovered fire in the mouth of a dog, owned by an Ediana, of course. The crowd say, "Yay, Ediana, we discovered fire and brought you fire." As the dog got closer, he realized, Yes, there it dawned on him that the dog knew it was bringing him something valuable. So he joyfully said, "Machiayi abremade." Touched by the loyalty and kindness of this dog, he decided to make the dog his spirit animal, which we all know in Akan as Krabwa. Went to Nayabuadiana Nimrania yase, Ediana Triabrade, Madani Eja in Swantino, Minamada Somumpua, Minsre Sumpona Mesro Bribiara, Ediano Yonkupa, Sechirefo. We the Edianas are known to be very loyal and fierce like the dog, and we carry diverse beating hearts of fire as one. Thank you.